Remember this guy?
Crazy games for 3 decades. And this is the most biggest, ambitious game they've ever done. Your experience could be undone by a couple screenshots. I think 6 years of development could be undone by that. It's a game. It's a game. You have to experience it. That's all I'll say about that.
Troy Baker. You remember him telling you that, the game leaks and screenshots and the stuff about The Last of Us 2 was inconsequential, and that, this was an amazing game and it wasn't what you thought it was going to be? Yeah, I remember him too. And, of course, he and Naughty Dog and, of course, Druckmann were out there peddling this game they knew was going to be incredibly divisive and full of a lot of crap that the previous game was not. In fact, at the time, by all accounts, or many accounts, I should say, the primary lead storyteller for this entire series was pushed out of her job in an effort to, I guess, make it more diverse, have a man lead the project. Anyway, we have this really strange situation where I'm now in a position where I actually feel bad for Troy Baker. Strange as it may seem, it's actually happened, and I feel bad for his wallet too. Anyway, let's take a quick look at this story. Here we go. So on January 31st of 2022, IGN released an updated article. In fact, they'd been covering this story since before the 15th of January, so it's been quite a period of time. And because it's a controversial subject, they even have a disclaimer in here, which I'm also going to read because it'll be fun. Voice actor Troy Baker pulls out of NFT partnership. This is an update, of course. He says in the subtitle, quote, "I heard you and apologize for accusing anyone of hating just by simply disagreeing with me." Hey, mea culpa. Pretty cool. Editor's note, and this is the disclaimer. The subject of NFTs is currently a very controversial topic in the gaming community, and in other places as well, by the way, guys. IGN urges community members to be respectful when engaging in conversation around this subject and does not endorse harassment of any kind. We've also updated some language in our article for clarity. The problem with the way that that's worded isn't the word harassment just basically a placeholder for, don't disagree with anybody, be nice. Anyway, so here's the update from 131. Troy Baker has announced that he will no longer partner with VoiceVerse NFT. The voice actor didn't give specific reasons for stepping away from the controversial partnership, but thanked fans for their feedback and patience on Twitter. The actor also reiterated his apology for the way his initial announcement was made. Intentions aside, this is his quote, excuse me. "Intentions aside, I've heard you and apologize for accusing anyone of hating just by simply disagreeing with me." It's an interesting tweet. VoiceVerse, the company that was, going to make these vocal NFTs, right? They said in their own statement that the decision was reached as a mutual agreement with Baker. The audio-based NFT firm said that it will double down our resources and efforts to execute our roadmap, further our vision as the voice of Web 3.0, and strengthen our community as well as the broader NFT ecosystem. Oh, that's cool. But it's interesting to say this, that because of a mob of people who have very strong opinions and voice them, and it's not a very big group that went after him for this, he's now actually losing an opportunity at revenue. He lost another side hustle which, let's face it, in this day and age, and maybe in the future, everybody's going to need, especially if they ever want to retire and not work anymore. Now, with a voice actor like Mr. Baker, that doesn't seem to be a pressing matter, because you can be a voice actor for a very long period of time. But what I think the main concern is that Troy had aligned himself with a particular group, and that group demands compliance. And that is never ending and unrelenting. And he's got a problem, because anything that he does is a side hustle that has any small sliver of anything going forward because of his virtue signaling and another instance of backing off from whatever the mob tells him to step away from is going to make his life very difficult. NFTs are a controversial subject. I did a video on them just a few days ago. And you know what? They're going to be controversial for a while. And whether or not the unrelenting pressure from this vocal minority saying that, there's energy expended when you create anything that's digital like that. There's energy expended every time you make anything. Currency requires lots of natural resources. I think those printing presses run on, hopes and dreams. No, they run, those mechanical beasts, they run on electricity, and a certain amount of natural resources. And you're constantly having to produce inks that could be bad for the planet to print those notes, those bank notes. You have, of course, mechanical parts that, have to be replaced, and those, expend more resources. It's foolish to think that, the use of electricity when it comes to the creation of cryptocurrency or NFTs is really something we should be terribly concerned about. And while there were some people in this particular thread of conversations with Mr. Baker here who brought into question just how viable an NFT is for an artist truly, and whether or not it subjects them to a certain amount of, piracy or loss of their IP in some form or fashion. I guess that's up to the individual consumer to decide, and the individual artist. And again, I don't promote any kind of art theft, which I think is bad. I think that there's a certain amount of fair use that's going to get exploited for when it comes to these artistic NFTs. But again, you are purchasing something that it is yours to use, just like you would a piece of art that you put up in your household. And whether you have the original or a print, it's only as valuable as another party would value it. In other words, if I have a trading card and to me it's worth $1, but to you it's worth $1,500, I will be happy to give you this trading card for your $1,500. Again, anything is only worth what someone is willing to pay for it. And that's just the story here when it comes to NFTs, cryptocurrency, or anything else in life. If you need an egg and you have a fish and somebody wants to trade you an egg for a fish, it's an exchange. And that's all an NFT is, at least in my opinion. Now, I am not giving you financial advice. Would never do that. I'm definitely not an art consultant. And in no way am I an expert in cryptocurrency, although I do participate in the marketplace. Guess what, though? There are creators here on YouTube and other platforms that, they're experts. They have podcasts, they have videos, they teach you about these things. And if you're truly interested, seek them out, because the community is growing every single day. That leads me to ask you some questions. First of all, what do you think of the NFT marketplace as it is? Would you be interested in a voice NFT by, a voice actor such as Mr. Troy Baker? Would you be interested in a piece of art from an independent creator such as Kai MFS, who is in the middle of a NFT campaign called NF Truman? Check that out. I think that's available on Twitter. You also have other forms of, again, non-fungible tokens that include even tangible items such as real estate, homes, things like that. I think we're going to see a significant shift in the way goods and services are transferred and owned. And I think that scares people. That leads me to my last question. Are you interested in NFTs? Is it something that you would actually spend your money on? I'm interested. Leave your comments down below. Answer any of those questions or all of them, however it works for you. Tell me what you think about what's going on with Mr. Baker here, and if you think he made his own bed when it comes to some of this stuff. With that being said, be sure to support other independent creators out there. I mentioned a few of them as we were talking. They are certainly working very hard to give you content of every type, not just videos, but you can also get some pretty cool comic books and actual, sci-fi books and many other types of books. Believe me, there's a lot available out there in the independent sphere, but here on platforms like YouTube, please support those artists out there that are working to build content for you. They can certainly use it, whether it be a subscription, a comment, a like, all of those. That's very important. And do share out the content as well, because again, it helps with engagement. And if you wouldn't mind doing that for me, that'd be great too. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.